It was a Saturday morning when I discovered that the HOA had allowed members to use my ranch storage facility without my permission. Apparently, Karen had organized a sort of impromptu community storage day, claiming that it was within her HOA authority to grant access. What she didn't realize was that the storage units contained not just my equipment but also valuable items entrusted to me by various neighbors and contractors. Any unauthorized access could have led to serious legal and financial consequences. I arrived to see a few HOA members loading items in and out of the facility, their vehicles lined up haphazardly, and Karen directing the chaos with her usual overconfidence. "Move that crate over there," she yelled. "It's all part of the community plan." I calmly activated the PA system. "Karen, stop immediately. You have no authority here. This is private property. You are trespassing, and any items removed without permission will be considered stolen." Karen waved her clipboard. "I've called the cops. They'll make you comply." What she didn't know was that my security cameras were recording everything live, sending feeds directly to my attorney and law enforcement. Automated locks engaged as soon as Karen attempted to open the main gate, ensuring that no further unauthorized movement could occur. My K-9 unit positioned itself nearby, alert and ready to enforce the boundary without causing harm. Karen froze. What is happening?" she shouted. Panic was starting to replace her usual bravado. I calmly replied, "Karen, you are on private property without permission. This facility contains items that are legally mine, as well as items entrusted to me. Any attempt to remove them without authorization is illegal. Leave now or law enforcement will take action." Within minutes, deputies arrived. Karen attempted to argue that she had HOA authority to grant access, but the officers reviewed the surveillance footage and property deeds. The evidence was undeniable. Karen had entered private property illegally and allowed others to access it, potentially committing theft. "Ma'am," one deputy said firmly, "you are trespassing. You do not have the authority to grant access to this property. Any further attempts will result in arrest." Karen's confident demeanor crumbled. She attempted to explain that she was acting in the HOA's interest, but the deputies were unmoved. Her actions had violated property rights, potentially endangered valuable property, and exposed the HOA to legal liability. I used the opportunity to document everything thoroughly. Security footage captured Karen directing the unauthorized removal of items, the intrusion into private property, and her frantic attempts to maintain authority once law enforcement arrived. The HOA board was immediately notified, revoking her privileges permanently and warning that any future violations would lead to criminal charges. By the end of the day, the storage facility was fully secured. All items were accounted for, the property was under my control, and Karen had been publicly humiliated and stripped of any authority. Neighbors and bystanders who had witnessed the event were amazed at how quickly her attempt to assert control had backfired. Karen had thought granting HOA members access to my storage units would assert her authority and intimidate me. Instead, she triggered law enforcement, public embarrassment, and permanent revocation of HOA authority, all while my property and valuables remained fully protected and secure. Karen allowed HOA members to use my ranch storage facility. Instead, she faced arrest, public humiliation, and permanent loss of HOA privileges, proving once again that rogue HOA members cannot interfere with private property without consequences.